Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented as always by the Navy Federal Credit Union. Pleased to shine the light on one of the more successful programs in the United States Naval Academy, and that's Navy Gymnastics. One of the main reasons why is the performance of sophomore Isaiah Drake and his teammates. Isaiah, appreciate a few minutes today, and the marquee pretty much sells itself anytime Army competes with Navy. But for you all as a team, what's the key to maintain focus and obviously keep routines as sharp as possible, and hoping that you peak coming up this weekend up at West Point?
I'd say just kind of staying on track with what we're doing, paying attention to all those small details. Yeah, I mean, the coaches have a good plan laid out for us, and sticking with it is the best way we can, achieve the goal of beating Army. So,
For you all as individual performers within a team concept, in something like this, the trust you have to have with coaching as they try to tweak you guys, but also feedback that you give them about, hey, I think this is working right now. What is that relationship like? I know obviously your coach is amazing, but what is that relationship like to where there's trust on both sides heading into each day as you prepare for obviously a meet coming up this weekend?
yeah, I'd say that communication aspect is really important, just so that everyone stays on the same page. Obviously, it's in both the coaches and athletes' best interest to want to push as hard as we can, but just staying on that same page of knowing, like, hey, like, today is the day where I can push. Today maybe I need to take a step back so that you can stay safe but also push as hard as you physically can, because as most people here at least know, it's hard to balance that, athletic and academic life. So some days are definitely a lot more challenging than others, but communicating with the coaches, and keeping everyone on the same page is really, I'd say, worked well on this team for a while. So
Clearly, it's a physical sport, but over the course of a season in particular, while it's active, the mental part of it, what are the keys for you that help you deal with the mental side of it to make sure that, hey, you're keeping things on a level keel and obviously able to accomplish what you're trying to do each day?
a big thing that I'd say a lot of gymnasts do that maybe not a lot of people get to see is kind of like that visualization aspect of running through a whole meet, just in your head, because a lot of times, the biggest thing in your way can be just your own mentality. So just staying level and staying calm is just a crucial piece to getting through a good meet. But yeah, that visualization aspect, uh, keeping that communication open with your coach to let them know how you're feeling and how they can support you also is really important. But just keeping that calm mindset throughout the whole meet, whether it's good or bad, has always just kind of been crucial to doing well, I'd say.
You mentioned attention to detail. And for somebody that performs in the all around the way you do, there's even more attention to detail for you in a sport that has subjectivity, it has criteria that you have to meet, but at the same time, it has to be instinctual for you. Is that something that just builds up over time as you continue to do each routine and each discipline that the all around requires for you? Because that on the surface seems like a monstrous task to try and deal with, because you're trying to be perfect every time you're out there.
Yeah, I'd say, to kind of alleviate some of that physical just toll it can take, is those mental reps really help. Whether it's just another day, or I have to kind of put myself in that situation where, okay, like, here we are at the star meet, about a salute on the last event. Just continuing to get those mental reps in is definitely crucial just to stay in the game. But yeah, it can be taxing.
Is there any added pressure? And because you guys strive for perfection all the time, but is there any added pressure simply because it's those other four letters on the marquee coming up this week, and you know how much stars mean to athletes at the Naval Academy?
I'd say something that's great about our team is, um, we really are just trying to push ourselves every week, and whether it's the star meet or another dual meet, we're always striving to just improve on how we're doing, really, at that point in the season. So I mean, going into this week, I'd say the biggest goal is to definitely just make improvements on what we did last week, and whether this week does happen to be the star meet, but I'd say we really just want to keep improving, and I'd say with that in mind, that will just be in our best interest to get us to win at the Star Meet.
Is there a favorite event for you in the all around, and if so, why?
I'd say rings. The balance of strength and technique it's fun on a good day. So
Dude, all right. I'm glad you said that. That is a savage discipline. I mean, it is amazing the amount of detail that goes into that, but also, as you mentioned, the amount of strength that goes into it. I could see an event like that taking a lot out of you, but at the same time, that means you got to get right back at it and go through the other events. I mean, how do you do that? And what does it take to be able to do rings? Because I think, quite frankly, I think it's one of the most difficult things within the gymnastics community.
I'd say just we do a lot of reps, so treating it just like another rep that we're doing when it does come to game time, and then after it is over, whether it was good or bad, just resetting and then moving on to the next apparatus. Because if it was a normal meet where we'd start on like floor or something, that's like the halfway point for the meet. So there's still half the competition left after rings if we're starting on floor.
Certainly last year, a top 10 finish at NCAAs. You've had the opportunity to compete in outstanding competition outside of your college career already. When did you know gymnastics was a vehicle for you to obviously compete at the Division I level, certainly get a great education that the Naval Academy provides each student athlete?
I'd always like been interested in the military, and then the coaches reached out to me pretty early on in the recruiting process, and I got to build a really nice relationship with them over time. And as I went on with the recruiting process, it just felt like the right school for me, especially with the people that I got to meet here. It was just where I wanted to see myself being as successful as I could. So
Kip has built an incredible culture here. What is it about the culture of Navy Gymnastics that allows it to set incredible goals for itself, but also meet incredible standards each and every year for itself as well?
I'd say it's all about the team and like that love for one another. To see yourself and the people around you be the best version of themselves has definitely been kind of like that team culture that we strive to just always continue here.
Isaiah, awesome stuff, man. Appreciate the time. Best of luck to you and your teammates this week as you strive to gain another star against Army this weekend. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.